Let's take a look at this figure 21-44 from Stallcup's Electrical Design Book, Volume 2, and we're dealing with commercial garages repair and storage. In accordance with NEC 511.3, C as in car, and D as in dog. Now, first of all, you have to determine what is considered a garage and what is not. You can find this in NFPA 30A and NFPA 88A. So basically speaking, a garage is where they repair cars, work on cars, and so forth. But you take a car wash, something like that, that's not considered a garage, and that's explained in NFPA 88A. So now let's look at the floor level and the step-up level, we call it. To the left, you have the floor at grade, and 18 inches above grade is considered a Class 1 Division 2 in a garage without you change the air 4 times per hour, as you see to the right under the head, non-hazardous, with 4 changes of air per hour, in accordance with the section 511.3 C and D, and in course the tables 511.3 C and D will give you this information. So that the 18-inch rule is clarified in these sections. Now, step up. I'll give you an example. When I was a boy, I was raised in the country mostly, and at a general store, that's what we had back in those days. In the store itself, they would sell groceries, different things like that, but that always had a garage usually, and they would work on tractors, trucks, vehicles, things like that. But in the garage, they would step up about 24 inches of steps to go into the store area. So the store wouldn't be classified like the garage would be. So they would take that, naturally. So that's the step-up rule above the 18-inch rule that requires it to be a Class 1 Division 2 if you don't change the air 4 times per hour. Now notice there's ways you can get around this with a wall, curb, or partition that blocks the 18 inches away. You isolate the area is shown to the left of the garage right there. You have the wall, curb, or partition 18-inch high or higher isolates adjacent areas to non-hazard. Same sections referenced there that we can pick that information up. Now we're going to move down to the pit area that you see in the garage. And where there is compressed natural gas, the area 18 inches of the ceiling is a Class 1 Division 2. Again, if you don't change the air with 4 volumes of air per hour. In other words, bring in clean air, take out contaminated air. Now, in the pit itself, we pick up, if we change the air at least 6 changes per hour, then the pit is Class 1 Division 2 with 6 changes of air per hour. Now that's in accordance with 511.3 D as in dog 3A. Now if you bring in to the bottom left of the illustration, it has the title head, air changes required. If you bring in 1 foot of clean air and take out 1 foot of contaminated air, then the pit is not classified at all. But the bottom line here is exactly can be determined by this manner. If you do not change the volumes of air 6 times per hour, or bring in 1 foot of clean air and take out 1 foot of contaminated air, the pit is a Class 1 Division 1 area. So the pit's non-hazardous with proper changes of air as illustrated in 511.3 C and D and tables 511.3 C and D. And basically, that's what this figure 21-44 is illustrating commercial garages, repair, and storage and how we would classify the Class 1, Division 1, or the Class 1, Division 2 areas is illustrated in this illustration.